Welcome to Slightly Biased Sports, an unfiltered sports podcast that's unlike any you've listened to before. They speak the truth and aren't afraid to hurt some feelings. Now, from the backwoods of Arkansas, here's your hosts, Tyler and Dakota.
Ready, break!
Welcome to Slightly Biased Sports. I'm Dakota.
And it's your boy Tyler. Boy, that intro did rejuice me up.
That was a good job. Rejuiced you up from what?
What do you mean?
From the adrenaline dump that you had when
Correct.
You thought you deleted all your fucking notes?
I have a lot of notes for today's episode, and we and Dakota were talking right before this. I accidentally pressed a button real quick. It went blank. Lost everything. Devastation. Misery. And then Dakota was just dying. Just stomping on the back of my head as I was drowning.
We talked about multiple times hitting record before we hit the intro just because the shit that comes out right before this is absurd.
It's fucking comical.
And we may do it and cut together a blooper reel or something.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking funny.
It was fantastic.
But I clicked back. I realized there is a create in the bottom right of your note. I realized I hit that, made a new one, went back. There it was. Okay.
Your fucking face.
I am back.
Your face. You didn't say shit. You just looked up. It
I was
looked up like
devastated.
somebody kicked your fucking dog.
I was fucking devastated.
Oh, God damn it. That's funny.
It's hump day, people. It's
Yeah.
Thursday now that you're hearing this. It's Thursday.
It's been a long
so
week. It's been a fucking terrible week.
It has been a very long week.
We got a lot to talk about, though.
It's Wednesday, the 15th. Y'all are going to hear this on the 16th. The morning of the 16th, this baby drops. So, what we got? Yeah, that's the story I read. I read
Not the one that I read.
Oh, that's the one that I read.
Uh-uh.
I thought that was one you were talking about.
No.
Oh, you should read that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I see this little
We're
tidbit
getting
here.
all kinds of fucking
It's
breaking
all
news about
over
Urban
the
Meyer.
place.
We got
Turns out
so
he's a
much.
dirtbag.
We got. Turns out Dakota's right. We have so much to fucking talk about. Thank y'all for listening to us today.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate the shit out of y'all. Subscribe to you boys, as we always tell you. Please head to our YouTube because we're about to be streaming very soon.
Yeah.
Video with.
And for the first time in a little bit, we have guests lined up.
Oh, absolutely. Matter of fact, we got a good one tomorrow for him. Who we got?
Oh, yeah. We got a certain wide receiver recruit.
Possibly led the nation in yards.
Potentially just went off in the fucking state championship game.
Possibly from Fayetteville, playing for Fayetteville.
Could be, but, we don't give it away.
I think we do want to give it away, boys. We need to let them know. Because it's going to drop Thursday morning, so they're going to know that evening we're going to have something.
Isaiah
Yes.
Satania
Correct.
on the show.
Yes. So you're hearing this Thursday morning.
Pretty sure that's how you say his last name.
Apologies if we messed that up.
I'll figure it out for sure by tomorrow.
We got Arkansas educations, all right? Bear with us.
That's so see, he'll get it.
Yeah. So if you're hearing this Thursday morning, just know later this evening, get on our fucking YouTube because our little discussion with Isaiah is going to be on the tube tomorrow. So stay tuned for that one. And then we got another good one next week for y'all, but we'll wait till it gets closer to let you know about that one. That one's going to be a cool little lineup.
It's going to be a fun one. I think that one's going to be fun.
I could tell by the way this dude was messaging us, he is just fucking like us.
Yeah, he gets it.
He absolutely fucking gets it. As soon as he said, I always say fuck and all this blah, blah, blah. And, my wife don't like it when I now we're clearly not talking about Isaiah anymore.
This
is a separate individual.
Separate.
As soon as he
Dude,
said,
I do not want to give this one away. This is going to be cool, I think.
yeah, this one's going to be awesome. He said, I say fuck and shit and all this, but my wife gets real mad whenever I say it to the kids. But I was like, you know what? This dude is in. He's in.
Yeah, he gets it.
Y'all are going to be fucking pretty pumped up to hear that one. We're not sure if we're going to trying to line something up in person, maybe try to line something up over Zoom, maybe get him to phone in. Who knows? We're not sure yet. But we'll let y'all know when it gets closer. And pretty soon, starting when we start streaming on YouTube, we would like to start possibly taking some phone calls while we're recording. So
That is the goal. That would be fantastic. We got to figure out if we can have people call in, if we set up times to call people. But we have been around each other for so long that our takes have morphed into each, a lot of the time we're on the same page. So it would be
Dakota
interesting.
purposely has to pick other things sometimes just so we're not going the same way.
Yeah.
Which is probably why he lost so many gentlemen.
I have got myself into hot water and I pick. I'm trying to get cute, but we'll talk about that.
You got to spice it up.
Well, the problem is now I've done it to the point where I have to do that in order to catch up. So
also too, it's not to cut the cut off. I get so fucking excited with the train of thought. I know if I don't say it immediately, I will fucking forget. I have short-term memory. It is fucked, ruined. If I don't say it as soon as I think it, it's fucking gone. I literally can sit there and think of myself watching the thought disappear. It actually happens in my head. I'm fucked. But the National Letter of Intent Day
Mm-hmm.
We got to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody who says, hey, Arkansas, y'all get my followers, get fucked. Just thoroughly get yourself fucked, sir.
If you have no intention of signing.
If you don't come here. If you come here, fuck yeah, we're going to get them followers
go up more.
But if you fucking use us.
And abuse us.
We will.
Call you Gus Malzahn.
Hold a heavy-hearted grudge. Be prepared.
And the fact that you know that half the people that followed you don't know how to unfollow you is bullshit. Because that is definitely the case.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today with the NLI shit. We got a lot of change ups. We got some transfers. Dakota didn't turn his audio off.
So you're a thunderstorm watch.
That's good stuff.
Well,
so that turns into something bad. But
it is like 70 fucking degrees right now.
It's weird as fuck.
I don't like it. Pineapples.
We got certain dudes transferring over. We got some people leaving Arkansas. We got a whole heap of talent coming this way. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, fuck else we got? Dakotas and talk some UFC in here. So
UFC recap.
Fighting fans, stick around.
We got to talk about Arkansas versus Oklahoma basketball.
We do. We have to call ourselves out. This is going to be a longer episode today, fellas. We got a lot.
We're
going to try not to because Dakota's got to get home.
We have
dinner,
some interesting.
What is it?
Interesting differing takes on announcers for the NFL.
We absolutely do. Yeah, we definitely have to talk about announcers because I'm fucking sick and tired of them.
One simply realization that I had, and one is a
Lewis Riddick is the Kenny Smith of basketball analysts. That's a little tidbit for you there. Lewis Riddick gets on my fucking nerves. He's just like Kenny the Jet Smith on the NBA, who just sits there and fucking says the stupid politically correct bullshit. We got to talk about that.
A&M claims the top class after the first.
Oh, dude, they killed it. 2 5-star defensive linemen. Jesus Christ. We got to give them flowers. We just have to.
That's it.
We got to recap our gentlemen's bets. Me and Dakota said moving forward, we're going to address our gentlemen's bets, hold some feet to the fire, make it some painful. It's going to be painful. We hate being wrong. We hate losing. We are very competitive motherfuckers. So just know we don't just throw gentlemen's bets out there and don't fucking feel the impact when we're wrong because we know we're being judged severely by the other at that moment.
Yeah.
So we're going to call ourselves out on that. We got to talk about a certain top 4 all-time NBA player who broke a record last night. Steph Curry, unfucking believable. We got to talk about that real quick. That'll be just a quick little segue between transitions there. But
we got to talk about a coach that shouldn't be in the NFL.
Oh, yeah. The one you were just, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Urban Meyer's piece fuck.
So let's just get into it.
Let's just fucking dive right in.
Where do we want to start?
Oh, you tell me.
Arkansas and Oklahoma.
Yep. That's the one. That's the plan. Just stick that knife in there further.
Lost by 20 fucking points.
Probably should have been more.
And should have been more. At some point, you have to score points.
At some point, you need guards who can score points and stop playing 3 bigs.
Why is it that everybody shoots 80% against us?
Because we're playing 3 bigs and they can't get out to the perimeter.
But even the contest, like I'm talking about strictly 3-pointers at this point, like because it happens every fucking time. Like
playing 3 bigs and 2 guards, and then sometimes 3 guards.
But even contested threes, they fucking go in. I don't understand it. There's some kind of goddamn curse.
Our defense is not very good.
Well, the initial one that sparked the conversation on this year was just terrible perimeter defense.
Yes.
But the game immediately following that was much better, and they just kept going in.
Well, this is what happens when we play a bunch of shit babies and we buy all the way in and just.
Now I will say
we're not as good as we thought, people.
The only silver lining that I will say to this game is that last year we got our fucking cheeks clapped back-to-back weeks, and it turned out all right.
However,
I'm concerned.
I am very concerned
for this year.
I just got to go ahead and say it. I got to say what nobody wants to say because everybody wants to be nice around here. Musselman's fucking up. I don't know why. I don't know why he's doing what he's doing, what promises he made, if he's trying to make it appeal to transfers that you will play no matter what. I don't know what he's doing, but it's fucking up the talent that we recruited here that's hometown that's really good, like KK Robinson. He has fallen completely down to the end of the bench. He's the last man who gets no minutes at all.
And when
he's
he comes
a guard
in,
who can
he
score.
Almost consistently makes a 3.
Mm-hmm.
Last time he came in and immediately made a 3.
Yeah, 1 minute, 3 points. Guess how many minutes he played in that game? 3 minutes.
Coming off the bench and immediately hitting a 3. Underrated skill.
Playing Chris Likes, who gets about 6 points a game, and plays really bad defense.
I'm
just going to say it.
I don't know what you expect from him.
I like Chris Likes, But his minutes need to go down substantially. And KK Robinson's need to go up exponentially. You tried this big rotation, trying to have multiple bigs, three bigs on the floor. Sometimes I know they like to kick to have Likes and Note and Devo in at the same time, which is fine. But there's only two shot creators. One's consistent in that lineup. You have to do a better fucking job. If you have to take Likes out and play KK with Note and Devo, so fucking be it. Whatever you have to do to get guards who can score points and keep bigs in, who are bigs that get rebounds and putbacks.
If you just use KK as a spot-up shooter.
And you said this before the season started, I now am firmly on board with what you said.
What's that? What did I say?
We do not have somebody that they can kick it to, and that's money. We do not have one.
Can't remember the last time we had one.
Dusty Hannah's?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
That'd probably be the closest thing I could think to it.
That you just assume it's going in.
Yeah, that's an issue. Like, I love Note, but he's very spotty, and that's fine as long as you have a different guard who can also make points. We don't.
Now, the only thing I will say about the whole situation is we do rebound very well.
This is not a slide at our bigs because I love Tony.
And when you have somebody like Note, who is a volume shooter, you have to be able to rebound. And they do a good job of that. A good job of that. So this is not a
it's no slide.
Tear it down situation by any means. This is just we have seen our first real concern. Like it's very difficult to pick apart the games where you play a team you didn't know existed and you beat them like you should, or even if you beat them by fucking 10. Like, it's very hard to get into the weeds of what the problem is when you lose by 20 to the first big name, the real name you play, and they're not ranked at the time. It's not great.
Yeah, and they shot their season high for everything. Mm-hmm. If you can't score points and you give up a lot of points, you'll probably lose.
You got big men that you leave open in the three, which normally fine, except he keeps draining them, get in his fucking face.
And I don't know. I know Musselman will adjust. He's not scared to adjust. He's not scared to start tinkering with minutes and changing lineups. I think that's what this wake-up call will do.
We saw it last year in the tournament.
Yeah, Musselman's not afraid to shift shit up, and I think now he realizes we need to find guards who can score. Get guards in the game. Guard heavy. It needs to go back to like old school basketball like the 90s. It needs to go back to bigs, rebounding, and putbacks. Guards, score, and shoot. That's what it needs to be. And we got too many bigs that we're trying to run post offenses through. And don't get me started on our half-court offense. It is atrocious. Mm-hmm. It is so bad. Nobody can get separation. If you watch our offense, there is no plays. There's no plays being ran.
It's just rapid passes until somebody ends up open.
Yep.
And if that doesn't happen, we force a shot.
Yep. It's a high pick and roll and then just hope that the person with the ball can out-dribble the defender and get to the rim. It's fucking sad.
The more passes you have, the better chance you have somebody of ended up open. But when it doesn't happen and that's all you've done, you kind of fuck yourself. You force the last person to touch the ball to shoot it. And
you also made no halftime adjustments. You didn't tinker with the lineup. I don't know, man. We know Muss is smart. Muss knows what the fuck he's doing, and we're always going to fucking trust him no matter what. I'm not abandoning ship thinking we suck or anything, but I think we did maybe get a little too big for our britches. Is that fair to say?
It's possible.
Okay.
Like I kept having to bring myself back the other night watching this game to when we got our cheeks clapped. It was LSU and somebody else beat us bad back to back. Alabama? I don't remember. LSU, I know, is one.
We got to make fun of them too.
And then we got fucking toasted. Well, yeah.
They wanted to throw rocks at Arkansas. Alabama did. And lo and behold, they lose to a team that has lost 4 of their last 5.
Yeah. You're going to get got.
Yeah, you're going to get got. We found out too.
Yeah.
Okay? It happens. Just learn from it. We know Muss will. Muss is not stupid. He's smart. He'll adjust. I don't know what's happening to KK, but it's criminal. KK needs to be on the goddamn court. That's all I have to say. Mm-hmm. Less big minutes, more guard minutes. If Likes ain't working and you're getting 8 points from them and the plus and minus is near 0 or minus, you need to switch something up.
Now, he's going to have to find that happy medium because last year our problem was that we had no size, that we just got bullied. So you're going to have to find that happy medium. That's why he's the coach. Figured I'd do it.
That's all I got to say about that.
I don't want to keep fucking talking about the terrible shit.
Shout out OU. Y'all played fantastic. You shot lights out. You clearly wanted it more than Arkansas. Mm-hmm. I could see it from the jump. The hustle, the heart, the effort. Even when the coach busted his ass sprinting down the sideline and ate shit for OU, whoever their coach is. Don't know his name. But he ate shit.
I don't like him.
Well,
it's his face.
I don't know what it is.
That's all it is.
But I got to give y'all a shout. Give you the flowers. You beat us. Took care of business. Not going to overreact. We will be fine, and we will finish much higher than OU, I promise.
Musselman needs to get thrown out of that game sooner. At that point, that's all you can. That's all you can do. Like I'm a firm believer that sometimes you just need to get thrown out as a coach.
He's also got to be the least intimidating individual to charge at you, right?
Yeah, right. But I was
Ronnie manhandled him.
I was very surprised.
Shout out Ronnie Brewer
at how consistent he was. Like he didn't. Normally you rush at somebody, they pull you back, and it's like,
no, he wanted it,
and you motherfuck him under your breath all the way back to the locker room. He did. He kept going back for more.
And then also they showed the replay of why he was fired up. I don't know why he was fired up. I think he just wanted to get the fuck out.
That's what I'm telling you. I think the strategy was.
Let me try to give him some fire.
Exactly. And if that's the case, I'm all for it. Do it a little sooner when you're not down by fucking 15 with 2 minutes left.
Yes. But we will hold ourselves accountable. We will not just boast about the home crowd. We will hold ourselves accountable. Okay? You got to be able to raise your hand.
Speaking of being able to raise your hand.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
I don't know what
I think you're about to do?
No. I don't know. Did you have any more on that?
No. I didn't even put that down as a bullet. You just talked about it, so I just freehanded it.
So, speaking of raising your hand.
Mm-hmm. Who needs to raise their hand?
Are you ready to raise your hand?
About?
Brian Kelly. Being the wrong
I am all the way off my take of they made the right hire. LSU, you fucked up big time.
I like I said, it just screamed panic hire.
This cornball motherfucker here, standing on a fucking podium with a quarterback that I've never even heard of, with a camera spinning around him while he dances to Garth Brooks, is the grossest thing I've seen in a while.
And this is coming from Arkansas basketball fans.
With one of the cringiest.
When Musselman does his pictures and his vidges.
They are cringy as hell.
And, much like Musselman, if this works, it goes. But it's fuck. And apparently this has been his thing. Like, he's done this.
Oh, no.
Like, we
just didn't know about it.
The videos surfacing from Notre Dame that have been, it's like,
oh, God, yeah, the one that I sent you where he was.
Yes. I don't know what that was. It was fucking terrible. That not being the reason that I think he was wrong hire. It doesn't help. But, like, you just can't come in and have that many people leave. Think about this.
You can't have a 65-year-old try to pretend like he's 20. You just can't. It's going to look ridiculous.
We saw the meeting, for those of you Arkansas fans, we saw the meeting when Chad Morris met the team, how fucking god-awful it was. We didn't have people immediately, I'm getting the fuck out of here. With that guy, and when Brian Kelly comes into town, everybody's like, yeah, no, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
There's no other explanation.
Chad Morris still had top 25 recruiting classes.
But like he came in and tried to play the fucking hard ass.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even, it wasn't believable. Like, I understand that's
we can see right through your bullshit.
Throw over your bullshit. Like, you just can't convince me that many people leave. That many people that go to a school, a prestigious school, that consistently gets good recruits, and they don't want any part of you. As soon as, on their first impression, they don't believe in you enough to even give you a fucking chance.
There is a snowball's chance in hell that I'm a recruit on the fence on where I want to go, and LSU's one of my teams, and I see that video, and I go, oh, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
A snowball's chance in hell. Do you understand how little of a chance that is?
Minimal.
None. If that pumps somebody up, and it's disgusting too, because the quarterback posted was like, found my coach. Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see when he gets.
We'll see in the transfer portal.
Yeah. Speaking of transfer portal, since we're on college football
and LSU,
transfer portal and LSU, we got a whole mess of fucking people in the transfer portal. We got a whole mess of.
We got a 4-star defensive end though.
There's like 6 SEC quarterbacks in the transfer portal now. Most of them not starting, but
2 of them are.
But yes, and kind of. Calzada transferring from A&M.
Even if that other person became the starter, you know what? I don't even remember the starter's name. Even if that starter had come back, they're not pulling Calzada.
I mean, they would probably have the quarterback battle, whatever you want to call it. I think Calzada can win that. But I just don't understand where you're going. Especially with the recruiting class that A&M just had. Like, you're fucking set up.
Maybe to Jacksonville State. I don't know.
Oh, well, we'll get into that. But him, I think Brad Johnson.
Stick around if you want to hear our thoughts on the number 1, some say number 2 recruit overall signing with an FCS school.
Fucking wild.
Little sneak peek. You're going to laugh.
So, transfers with the SEC. Spencer Rattler has transferred into the SEC.
He has.
To the SC.
To the team that Arkansas opens up the conference play against week 2 next year. If you are scared of a fucking hostile environment, you have found yourself one, buddy.
I don't understand why I feel this way, but I always love Arkansas, South Carolina. I think it's the Marshawn Lattimore days like that, but that game always excites me, and it shouldn't the way that it does.
Yeah, it shouldn't.
But I am excited for it. I'm much more excited for it now.
Oh, for sure, because they also got Stoner, who's a monster. Mm-hmm. That tight end is a fucking monster.
Yes.
Huge with mitts. Now, I was really hoping he would transfer here.
Now, the amount of memes and pictures that I saw that was supposed to be Spencer Rattler when he realized that Lincoln Riley was not at that USC was fucking hilarious.
I did not see those. I wish I had.
Yeah. Well, I don't understand. I mean, I guess the other schools in the SEC already had their quarterback situation figured out, and you could just drop him into that one and he's a starter. Mm-hmm. But, it befuddles me more why people are transferring that are currently on SEC teams. Like, you're clearly the goal is to get into the SEC.
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
I mean,
where's Calzada going to go?
Well, it works for LSU. I don't know that one at all because I've heard the rumor is because they have clearly another
Kentucky?
5-star quarterback, and all of a sudden players don't want to compete anymore. Right. They just want to go play instantly.
Yeah.
So I mean,
which in the age of social media and your fucking tape getting out there to the masses,
yes,
it makes a little more sense. It still looks kind of soft.
I will bring up Kyler Murray and tell you all how long he sat on a bench, even after transferring. Mm-hmm. No, sorry, not even after transferring. He was always a Texas A&M, and then after transferring, playing 1 year, number 1 pick.
Yeah.
So I just don't know why people are afraid to compete anymore. That is bullshit and sucks. But to go against that, we did get LSU's 4-star defensive end.
Yes, we did.
Boys, he looks scary.
Yes, he does.
Frightening.
And Ridgeway's going to the Hall of Fame game, but he has not made a decision if he's going to declare or not. So, if we can get our shit together on the defensive line
and put
another person there, we got Catalan coming back.
We do. We all saw I saw it about 2 minutes after it was uploaded. I just happened to jump on Twitter when I was sitting on the couch when I first got home. Video popped up. I instantly just wanted to fast forward towards the end, but I didn't. I wanted to watch it all the way through just to get the whole motion.
Oh, it was fucking awesome.
Oh, I shit myself.
Because
I jumped up. No one knew what was going on. Macy was clueless, and I was like, yeah.
I get that's the goal, but the whole video was definitely supposed to lead you to believe that he was gone.
Correct.
The way that he was phrasing everything, which also, whoever he got with to make that video was fucking awesome. Like, that was a quality video.
It was.
So we got
Jalen Catalan back, bitches.
We get our defensive line figured out.
Possibly Bumper Pool.
If Bumper Pool comes back, if Monterey Brown comes back, and then we can figure out how to use them, we'll be in good shape.
Yes, correct.
Now, I am concerned with our linebacking core, only because I don't know
am as well.
Be there.
We are going to be young at linebacker, so we'll see.
That's why I feel like Bumper comes back.
I think with Catalan coming back, he does too.
You're out of the Grant Morgan shadow, and that's not a shot at him. That's just like Grant Morgan got national recognition, so it's going to be impossible to play the same position as him or the same position group as him and get the shine. Like, you have everybody acknowledges the amount of tackles that he has,
right?
But if you're the guy, you're the captain of the defense. You and Catalan, you control the front seven. Your stock can only go up.
Yes,
because as of right now, I don't know if
I haven't seen his name in the first 4 rounds.
I don't either.
And that's criminal because it would
behoove you to come back.
Agreed. I can't wait to see Hazelwood and McAdoo and Thompson.
Dude, the fucking receiver core that's coming in here is stupid.
Yes.
Like, we talked about.
I'm not going to have Traylon Smith no more, so it'll be, which sucks. I like Traylon Smith a lot. But
we talked about Burks being the best Arkansas receiver. Like, this receiver group coming in on paper, granted on paper, we haven't seen them play in the.
It's very Greg Childs and Joe Adams and Toby Hamilton.
Like where there was no bad option.
No,
like, go ahead, cover him. We got these 2 fucking people over here that'll light you up as well.
Yeah,
that offense with KJ could be fucking
problematic.
Yes,
and
it will make it almost impossible to just run the ball.
Yes. Also have very good tight ends that just.
That being said, I will get ahead of this. I do not want to completely abandon the run either. Like, just use your fucking brain.
It's going to be Rocket Sanders, Dominic Johnson, and AJ Green. I think AJ Green should be the number 1 or 2 option. But
something interesting here. I have not seen this anywhere. Just thinking about it, Dominic Johnson, the shit with Missouri, where they said they were going to let him play running back and they recruited him as a linebacker. Something to think about.
Maybe.
That running back room's full. We got
Let him bust some heads.
What if he just fucking does that and just tears it up?
Be fantastic.
That'd be fucking awesome.
I'd love to see it. Speaking of, we're on talking about recruiting in college, I'd like to give a little shout out to our good friend Dabo Sweeney.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I sure would. Because now his panties are in a wad because he's losing recruits, even though that's literally how he got started. He is mad that other coaches are out Daboing. Do you think it's convenient or coincidental that Clemson came literally out of nowhere? Like, out of nowhere. They were nobody, and then all of a sudden, they were competing for the national championship. Do you think that's a fucking coincidence that somebody who's in, like, his what? Now, it's off the top of my head. Like, third year in coaching, and all of a sudden was competing for a national championship. Do you think that's a coincidence? I do not. You were throwing money around just like everybody else was, except now you're losing.
Here's my take on this. He's only mad because the whole big deal with Clemson before was Dabo's never lost a recruit. Or a commitment, whatever it was. Doesn't matter. Dabo got the shine for not losing anybody, and now that his coordinators are gone and people start to leave, it kind of makes you think they were only there for the fucking coordinator.
Correct, because he came out and said, quote, "It's chaos right now, tampering galore, adults manipulating young men, education is like the last thing now."
I'm going to tell you what, nobody comes to Clemson for a fucking education.
Hold up. Aren't you doing the exact same thing while recruiting, trying to win kids over however you can? Now you're mad because you're losing at the game that you are also playing.
You have a worse pitch than them.
Correct. We've all seen the helicopter video of you with the quarterback pointing down at Clemson Stadium, "Hey, that's where you're going to win a national championship right there." So you do the exact same thing and you're losing, and now you're talking about tampering.
We talked about
now
this.
Tampering matters?
We were talking about basketball and we talked about this. We talked about this long ago about how this NIL shit was going to even the playing field for the teams that consistently got the top talent, because it did just that. It evened the playing field. Like, it gives the money has to come from somewhere now. So you can't just.
Before it was just a McDonald's bag that everyone thought was a number one with no slivered onion.
Yeah, now you had no shred.
No.
You have to have it tied to something now.
Anybody who's never looked at their McDonald's receipt and they don't like onions or lettuce on their shit, look at the receipt. It's pretty funny. No shredded and no slivered.
Yeah.
Yes, that is so fucking funny to me that this sore fucking loser now wants to cry victim. Also, sorry, we forgot to tell y'all we're going to do our recaps on NFL. We forgot to tell y'all.
Yeah. I still don't mind Dabo, but that's fucking stupid to say.
Him. We also didn't talk about, that's all I had to say about the Clemson thing. Tank Bigsby and Bo Nix hit the transfer portal, by the way. If anybody missed the Tank Bigsby news, pretty fucking substantial news there. I don't think it was working with him at Auburn.
No, he's going to go somewhere and fuck shit up.
Correct.
We talked about this during the season. Like, it looks like he should have 200 yards every fucking game.
Correct. Let him go to OU. Watch
64.
What happens.
Oh, God.
Watch what happens.
Like, Auburn's have, I think, 5 offensive coordinators in the last 5 years now. What? You just played Alabama. You should have beaten Alabama. Had Tank Bigsby not gone out of bounds or let him get drug out of bounds, you beat Bama.
Correct.
And now we're all jumping shit.
Right.
What the fuck is happening? There's
also,
something fucky going on.
Just in case anybody forgot, Bo Nix was a 5-star recruit. If you think he's not very good,
you're wrong.
Wait till you fucking see him on another team. Just wait.
What I'm about to say, people are going to immediately turn off. Like, they're not going to hear what I'm trying to say. There's no other way to frame it. Bo Nix has some level of whatever Johnny Manziel had. Like,
he does.
The ability to just make shit happen out of fucking nowhere. He's got it. Like, this is not the it factor people talk about. It's a separate thing. I've only ever seen one other person have, and it's fucking Johnny Manziel. His ability to just make just awesome shit happen out of nothing.
Out of thin air, yes. You will see he'll go to a Florida State or a Pac-12 offense, and you're going to see some godliness. And you're like, where'd this come from? Oh, he was just in a shit situation with people that I've never heard of due to injuries that were all around him, and a coaching staff that no one trusts. Now, granted, Auburn has gotten some really big defensive recruits in this class right now, so they're hanging their hat on that, which is fine.
Being in Alabama, they'll have somebody ready to go at quarterback. But Bo Nix is a dude.
Yes,
and he's going to be a problem for somebody.
I only have one more thing to talk about with the recruiting stuff.
What if he goes to LSU?
Well, they already got their coach.
No.
Sorry, they already got the quarterback.
Well, yeah, I guess.
Remember? He was spinning around on a carousel up there with dumbass.
Yeah. In the interim, what if it's Bo Nix? Brian Kelly getting Bo Nix would silence a lot of the shit. But I don't think it's possible. I'm just glad for once we are not in this fucking conversation.
Yes. We did lose 3 players. They're mostly defensive. They're all defensive players. Honestly, don't know who they are. I didn't write down their names. But we did lose 3 of them. They weren't starters or impact. It was because they weren't getting playing time. Whatever. Get it.
That's fair.
So I have an unpopular opinion that I don't know how the majority of this crowd is going to feel about. Probably going to side with me.
What's the category we're talking about here?
Deion Sanders.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I have an unpopular opinion. This is fucking bullshit. Jackson State gets the number 2 athlete in the country to go to their school by using Deion Sanders and his plug in the Barstool to pay $3 million to a kid to get him to go play in an FCS school. I fucking bet you anything he transfers. I will bet you fucking every dollar that I got, which ain't a lot, but it's some.
It's not $3 million.
It's not $3 million. It's a lot less than that. This is fucking bullshit. I saw a take on Twitter. I can't remember who it was, so I can't fucking throw their name out. But it's, why do you think we all love watching the Alabama Georgias and the Ohio State Michigans and the why? Because it is the top talent against the top talent. Battle that shit out. Those games are awesome. Now you have an elite player in an FCS school, and it's going to be stupid.
What's going to be interesting though is like every time we see like a Carl Wentz or a Josh Allen shoot to the top of the draft board right before the draft, the first thing that comes up with everybody is like, well, they haven't played anybody. This motherfucker was like, everybody's going to remember that he was the top 1, 2, arguably recruit in the country. So like that conversation of does he really have it is going to be harder. Like that motherfucker is still going to go like because he's going to have the goddamn numbers.
I saw somebody say he just cost himself so many millions in draft position versus taking the upfront money to go to a small school. I think so. Only
because of what I'm saying. Like he's going to have the fucking numbers. Like,
and then he'll transfer to a big school and prove that he has it.
Well,
and then
I don't know that he'll have to because this has got so much media buzz right now, and he's playing lesser competition. Like he's going to have the numbers. He's going to have the fucking media following. Barstool's going to blast it everywhere because they blast all of Deion Sanders shit everywhere. Deion Sanders is there in and of itself is going to bring eyeballs to it. So he's going to have the numbers. People are going to know his name. And, oh, by the way, he was one of the top sought-after recruits in the country. Like, I think...
They're trying to say Deion Sanders lands one of these big recruits. There was a person that said, do you think if he was at a team like Arkansas or something else, he would get a top 5 recruiting class too? I bet he would. He didn't fucking get this guy, people. Barstool Sports' checkbook got him.
Well, no. So, yes, that's what... I have no problems with saying that that's what flipped it. But I think...
And also, I think Bo Nix goes to Iowa.
That'd be bad for him. I don't understand why he would do
that. That's a very Iowa quarterback.
Just because they fucking run the ball and fucking play defense. But I think Deion Sanders definitely has some pull with recruits. Like if he gets into a living room.
What has his recruiting class have been for the past 3 years?
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing that the money, obviously $3 million, is what solidified the deal. I think if anybody, and the fact that he was a top recruit,
there needs to be parameters on paying players.
But you're also dealing with kids, and you have somebody like you can't tell me that to somebody playing for Deion Sanders wouldn't be a huge thing in their mind.
I don't think they cared who the coach was.
I'm not saying in this situation necessarily either, but I'm saying like the fact that it is Deion Sanders definitely plays in, or Jacksonville State or Jackson State. Which one is it?
Like Jackson State.
Jackson State. It shouldn't be able to have both. That's why they hired him, because it's Deion Sanders. It's very interesting though.
I think it's bullshit.
I don't think it hurts his draft stock.
I do. And I will stake my reputation on it.
Only because, like I say, it seems like every year now since Carson Wentz, you have a FCS school, or what feels like an FCS school quarterback come up that just shoots to the fucking top of the draft board.
You going to take a SEC wide receiver or an FCS wide receiver?
No, wide receiver, no. Like, it's just going to be quarterbacks.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not, but it has worked out. That's the other thing. The NFL, they are quick to fucking jump on a bandwagon. Carson Wentz worked out. I'm going to say worked out. He had an MVP caliber season going when they went to the Super Bowl.
His team's in playoff contention right now. I mean,
Josh Allen, coming from Wyoming, took the world by storm coming into the NFL. Like,
well, it wasn't he took it by storm. For 2 years, he sucked.
Right, but what I'm saying is he got to the point where everybody's like, "Oh shit, he can play." So like, there's enough of a precedent there that people are going to continue to take a risk. Like if you get down,
but Kenny, they're 1-4 in the last 5.
Right, especially when you have people that get outside of the top 3 picks that have to fucking have a quarterback. They're going to be there, and I think like I said, you have enough of a resume there that somebody's going to take a chance on him. I'll be very interested to see. And I'm going to forget all about this motherfucker.
Yes, we will.
And then the draft boards are going to come up, and I'm going to start seeing
and we're going to see Dave Portnoy blasting all his shit out there. I love Barstool. This is bullshit. I think this is fucking stupid.
Yeah, I assumed whenever he signed with Barstool and then almost immediately took the Jackson State coaching job that was
the
done.
Plug.
Well, I figured that the Barstool thing was done.
Nope.
It has not been done. It's very strange.
This
is the gray area, and I'm sure the fucking bigwigs and the NCAA are sitting back like, I fucking told you this shit was going to happen. This is why you can't pay players, which is also bullshit.
They need to do parameters. There needs to be a salary cap limit. There needs to be this cannot just be a free for all $3 million to a fucking 18-year-old. This is just not good.
It's going to be just like the NFL. Like you think about like what first round picks used to, like the number 1 overall pick used to get, like fucking Sam Bradford money. Yeah. You had, you get into the top 5, you're making fucking $6 million right off the bat. And then what happened? And
they haven't pan out.
And then they slotted them where you can only pay them so much.
Yep.
That's going to happen again.
It has to. I'm sorry, but an FCS school, the revenue that they make has to matter when it comes to the amount that you're allowed to pay somebody. Well, it just has to. I know you use outside sources to pay, but that's just fucking bullshit.
Well,
that a team with fucking 3,000 in attendance every fucking Saturday has that $3 million checkbook to get. That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit.
Well, and I don't know that I necessarily agree with the whole, like, if you make more revenue, you get to pay more money. I think it's slotted the same across the board if they slot it at all. Because otherwise, you're like this NIL. Like, I get it. For a lot of people, it's like, oh, the little guy finally won. Alabama and Clemson's and people like that are pissed because Jackson State got a good recruit. That's fine, but it's bad for business.
It's very bad. You're going to see the long-term. Immediate effects, you're not going to think anything of it. Good for the little man, but watch the fucking long-term effects.
All it did was have all these boosters for these big schools go like, all right, how do we fucking find a way to be able to funnel our money through somebody else? Like, they're gonna wash their fucking money through somebody else. It's going to come from one of these fucking billionaires that, is a booster for Texas, is going to buy a fucking car lot with 12 cars on it so that business can sponsor these players. Like,
correct.
That's all you've done, is you've created the fucking the shell game here.
You're washing money.
Correct.
I'll jump off of it, though. Whatever. Fuck it. Ooh, that was a good... I dropped in perfect tone, perfect volume right there. That's money.
It's a good Blue Button does never disappoints.
No, it does not. Blue Button never, ever disappoints.
I was just waiting for the Blue Button. I don't know what it was I was planning on talking about. What are you going to talk
about? Quick intro before we talk about what we're going to talk about next, which we'll figure out here in just a second. Steph Curry broke Ray Allen's all-time three-point record against the Knicks last night, 2,974.
He did, and what's crazy is I know he's getting older, but it feels like he still has fucking 15 years left to play.
He still got 5 years easy.
But I for whatever reason, I think it's the baby face thing, but like he feels fucking 28.
To me, the craziest thing about it was the shot that broke it. Like falling away, typical Steph Curry, just untraditional, just against the grain type of form, and it's just money. And that's pretty much been his whole fucking career. It's fucking unbelievable. He is officially one of the top 4 all-time players for me. He's Mount Rushmore.
He is definitely the top shooter.
Oh, he's the greatest shooter of all time.
Yes. And that was not because he just got the record.
He actually literally changed the NBA.
I thought that from the day that he made that half-court pull-up 3 to beat Oklahoma City. Only because as soon as it left his hand, you got like 8 seconds left with no timeout.
And you're like, what are you doing?
And they didn't even roll the ball. They just passed it in. He starts dribbling it up the court, just like in no fucking hurry whatsoever. I said, this motherfucker's going to shoot it. He is planning to shoot this from way the fuck back there. He took one step over half court and just pulled up. And as soon as it left his hands, like we just lost. It's in.
Yes.
Nobody else have I said that ever before.
I think that shot is the reason Kevin Durant went over to him.
It's very possible. It's also the beginning of the end of my fandom for that team.
Yeah, it was incredible. I couldn't believe it. I haven't watched the NBA. That was the first one I turned on. It was just because of that. Also because I'm now a Warriors fan, of course.
Of course.
To caveat that, Klay Thompson will be back in a week.
Yikes.
You're about to get the Splash Brothers back, bitches, with 5 losses. If that ain't cause for concern.
I mean, people are sweating.
Now, I will say I turned the game off at halftime, so I don't know who fucking ended up winning.
I haven't watched a single basketball game.
Okay, the Warriors did end up winning.
Well,
I fell asleep. I got
good
a
for you.
I got a little drowsy. But my boys, Curry was 5 for 14 from 3. I saw a thing where now they were talking about with Reggie Miller and stuff. Like, could you imagine if they shot this many threes back in your day or whatever? And he's like, well, I would just get in trouble if I would have shot threes that much. Here we go with the old heads that walked uphill both fucking ways, 10 miles to school barefoot in the winter. All right, buddy, chill out. Let's not pretend that you weren't shooting 12, 13 threes a game in certain situations, because you were.
You just say you were ahead of your time and move on.
Yeah,
Don't
just drop it.
Don't.
I love Reggie Miller. He's one of my favorite people. He's an assassin.
I can't fucking stand him.
Cold-blooded motherfucker. If you go watch him play, dude, he was cold-blooded as fuck.
I can't watch his face. That's the problem.
Dude, he was so cold-blooded.
You may be right.
He was nasty.
But I can't fucking deal with his face.
He's
got one of the more punchable faces I've ever seen.
And
you know what we should do on one of these episodes?
Rate the most punchable faces?
Top 5 most punchable faces.
We can do that.
Book it. That's happening. I don't know if I can narrow it down. Maybe 10.
And to see Ray Allen come out and embrace him, like they took a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
Right after it, everybody fucking freaked out about it. And our boy Del Curry, he's over there on the sideline with 3 bitches.
He's back.
He's got hoes for days over there with him, while Mama's up in the stands with her friend looking down on Papa over here slaying ass. I mean, good God Almighty, Del.
You thought you were gonna get me?
I
No.
saw a thing that was like Steph Curry wins on the court, but Del Curry wins off the court.
If you think that he didn't bring multiple people because he knew the magnitude of that game and he knew that as soon as Steph broke it, he would be on camera, you're wrong.
Yep. Because Steph went straight to him with the ball.
He 100% knew what he was doing.
And he dapped him up, and I'm pretty sure I saw Steph whisper to his ears. No, I'm not going to say it. It's an insider secret. I can't say it. But it was awesome to see him and Ray Allen dap up. It was sick. Awesome moment, one of those. And then they played a little commemorative thing because they knew he was going to break it right then. So they played a commercial right after that of Steph just talking about, his approach to the game and like beating that record and how crazy it is and stuff. And then, it made me look up. I guess due to an ankle injury is the reason he started shooting the way he shot. Mm-hmm. I guess is like senior year in college or first year in NBA. Now I know he sat out a year or two because of that ankle re-aggravating, but apparently that was the reason that started it all. He had an ankle injury and it was forcing him to fuck up his drives. He was pushing off on the wrong side and fucking all. So he just started backing it up, shooting, and then he said everything just felt natural shooting, so he just kept doing it.
I just felt like everything was gonna go in.
Thanks, bitch ankle.
It is cool though, and kind of weird, like to see him get emotional when it happened because he knew he was gonna do that. He has known that for God knows how long. I think everybody has.
Yes.
Like it was an inevitability that he was gonna break that fucking record.
A good word choice there.
And I don't we always go back to like records that will never be broken. I'm not saying he's gonna be that, but what he's gonna add.
I promise you, this record will never be broken.
What he's gonna add to it is gonna be a problem.
Correct.
Like imagine if he plays
5 more years.
5 more. It's going to be a problem.
Yes.
And you're going to have a lot more.
But Splash Bros coming back now, so his shots might go down a little bit, which is good for business.
But you also have somebody else to guard on the perimeter very
Correct.
closely.
And we'll leave Steph Curry wide open.
Correct. He can get them fucking double, triple screens and end up open.
Let's not forget that Klay Thompson scored 63 points with 8 dribbles.
Right.
Let's not do that.
In 3 quarters.
Correct.
You have to put him back in. Like you have to let him go for how many he can get. I get it. The game's out of hand. Yeah. He has a lot of points. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? Put him back in. Let him try to get 100. What are we doing?
I don't know.
In every situation. Even if it's against my team, you have to let them get that. That's the situation you don't get put in very often. If you're just feeling it like that, you fucking keep feeding the ball. Timeout. What's the play, coach? Give it to Klay. Get the fuck out of the way. That's it.
Agreed. That is literally all I had to say. I will not start watching the NBA until Christmas. Everybody knows when the season starts.
Well, that's next week.
I know. But everybody knows when the NBA season starts. Christmas Day, the Christmas Day games, that's always when the season actually fucking matters. I will say LeBron's been killing motherfuckers. It's almost like as soon as I denounce my fandom, he took off.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. You denounced him. We're not going to talk about him.
Well, we fucking have to talk about LeBron James, for God's sake.
What we have to talk about is UFC 269.
Oh, let's talk about it.
So I gave my parlay. Told you up front.
We're going to talk about this, and then we'll go into our recaps.
Yeah. Gave you my parlay. Told you up front, picked up my heart with the Cody fight. Now, what I did forget about was the fact that it was starting. And I only knew it that I had fucked up because I saw Ryan Hall won by unanimous decision. So I'm not super upset that I missed that. But it did spark me to turn the fucking fights on. And boy.
You were not disappointed.
Well, I was immediately disappointed, and then I was not disappointed. The fight card as a whole was fucking great. It was as expected, and nothing that I expected all at the same time. Things I did expect.
Oh, you didn't expect Nunez?
Tai Tuivasa gave a fucking 9-piece combo and put a motherfucker to sleep. Shocker. The dude, like, Tai Tuivasa, like...
Full disclosure, I did not watch. Tyler did not watch. Dakota did.
Street Fighter style, like his last fight against Greg Hardy. He was wobbly, some might say, and put him to sleep. This motherfucker has learned some stuff. Like, whatever happened since the last fight...
Maybe that Greg Hardy hit kind of woke him up a little bit.
That motherfucker looked good. Like, technically good. Like, the combinations he was throwing were fucking... That motherfucker looks... Like, there's some people that have some serious power that don't... Like, when they throw punches, they don't look terrifying. Mm-hmm. That motherfucker looks terrifying. Like, when he swings, it looks like he's trying to your kappa was to be detated. I tried to figure out how to work it in there. You can't. He
punches your kappa in hopes of being detated.
He pieced him up, put him down. Did a shoey, did another shoey, did another shoey, all the way out.
Did he do a lot?
Yeah, he did several. Somebody, and when he was, like, they were trying to push him out, everybody that walked out was, like, trying to dap up fans and stuff, and whoever the fucking big, tall, scary dude in the mask was that kept telling people to hurry the fuck up and get out of the way, fuck you, let them celebrate.
For real.
They just did this shit, and I'm sure it's some sort of protocol for the UFC. But they just, like, that's the thing about them going into these fights. Like, it's like 6, 7, 8 months that they're fucking preparing for this. It's like the Olympics. Like,
and
you
it's
prepare
also
your whole
like his
goddamn
thing.
life. And then you have...
That is part of the bundle of what he brings, is that electricity on his way out.
Yeah, he knocked him out 26 seconds into the second round. Like, he prepared for months for 5.5 minutes. And then on his way out, you're trying to shove him along. But when he got right to the tunnel where you walk in, he pointed the dude up top, and he started dumping his beer. I don't know what he put in it. I think somebody put some hot sauce in it again or something, because as soon as it hit his face, he, like, started rubbing his face and fucking... He looked like he was in pain. Stop doing shit to people. You're a fan...
You're going to make him stop taking chewies.
Yeah, and we can't have that.
No, that's not what we want.
He did it on top of the fucking octagon immediately. Tai Tuivasa wins again. Surprising. Not surprising to surprising. Dominic Cruz looked very fucking good.
I don't know who that is.
I thought Dominic Cruz was done, over the hill. He was on the cowboy trajectory of just getting fights because of his name. No, that motherfucker is right back into the fucking title shot. Like, he was ranked highly enough to be in the title conversation. I thought he was going to fall on his face. He did not. He looked very sharp. Beat Pedro Munoz, unanimous decision. We move on to Sean O'Malley. I'm going to backpedal just a touch. Sean O'Malley, fighting a ranked opponent. Saturday, it looked like it didn't matter who you put there. He was going to do the same fucking thing. He put another motherfucker to sleep. I am starting to think, and I say I'm going to backpedal. I've always been a Sean O'Malley fan. I'm starting to think he could handle some serious competition. Do I think he wins the title near future? Probably not. But it's getting harder and harder to argue. Like, you keep putting slightly more difficult competition in front of him, and he keeps fucking knocking him down. So, I give flowers to Sean O'Malley. I'm very fucking excited to see who his next opponent is now, because it's going to be somebody in the top 10. And if he fucking does what he did in his last few fights, we're going to start having a serious conversation. And I can't fucking wait to see who it is. And they asked him after the fight who he wanted, and he said, well, I keep calling up these people, and I keep getting other people, and I keep knocking them out, so I'll fight whoever you want. I don't care. And then we get to Cody Garbrandt and Kai Car-France. It happened again. I had my fucking heart ripped out again.
He thought was his heart again.
Cody Garbrandt, on his way to the title, was no love. Like, Cody no love was fucking real. He got it. He had his shit with TJ. He had a little hiatus there. He came back, put old buddy to sleep at the horn, and I was sucked all the way back in. And ever since then, he has looked less than spectacular. This one, he dropped down a weight class, and everybody's like, oh, well, he can't handle the weight cut. He can't be prepared. That motherfucker looked totally healthy on the scale. He looked great walking into the octagon, and then he just continued to get punched in the face. It is extremely difficult to watch this shit continue to happen. We have got to fucking figure this out. And when I say we, I'm talking directly to Cody Garbrandt.
In the words of Granger Smith, put a good dip in.
I don't know. I mean, Kyle France, no surprise, looked very good. He's going to be a problem. Cody needs to figure his shit out because I can't fucking handle this shit anymore. Okay?
I never liked him. I only liked him when he had that buzzer knockout.
I can't fucking handle this shit. Cody Garbrandt is my favorite fighter that I've ever watched. I'm going to say that, yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Throughout his whole career. If you're just watching his last few fights,
Okay.
I don't expect you to understand it. Because like I said, it has been brutal to watch.
That's fair. I have not watched a lot of fighting over the years.
But I just feel like this is going to go sour. Like it's just going to continue to get worse. And I can't accept that. So every fight when it comes up, I expect old Cody, and he keeps not showing up. I'm not going to stay on that because it's emotion talking, and I'll just fucking ramble. That was the point that the parlay was fucked.
And then Nunez
We had
Do it.
Ryan Hall win, Tai Tuivasa win, Cody lost. I was like, well, I knew I shouldn't have fucking put that in there. And then comes Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal wins. Split decision, but I feel good about the decision. Like Jeff Neal definitely won that fight. I fucking love Jeff Neal's corner. You want a fucking hype man? You want a guy to get your fucking shit together when you're starting to slack off? Whoever the fuck is in his corner, call them. Those motherfuckers fired me up watching the goddamn fight, and this is on the heels of me being emotionally distraught from Cody Garbrandt's fight. Those motherfuckers, shout out. And then we get to the fight that I realized my parlay never fucking mattered because Amanda Nunes tapped the fuck out. And it was very apparent in that fight that she realized, I don't think she was got scared, nervous, whatever. I think she realized, like, oh shit, I have some real competition.
I can actually be beaten
because she was throwing bombs and she was eating bombs. Like there was a point right before.
Did I say a Ronda Rousey event?
No, that's the thing. I'll talk about that too. But we got to the point where right before she got her back, they were just rock'em sock'em robots. Like their hands may as well have been taped together because they were both just eating fucking shots back and forth. It was a great fight. She got her back, and this motherfucker tapped her out. Now, do I think it's a Ronda Rousey situation? Absolutely not. Because Ronda was beating everybody the same fucking way. And as soon as somebody got to her and was like, hey, you're not going to get my fucking arm, she had problems. Nunes, when you overpower people, that card doesn't go away. Like, yeah, credit to Juliana Pena. Like, she said she was going to do that going in. She said, which I'm surprised. She said she wanted to make her feel like she was drowning. Like, pull her underwater and show her what it feels like to drown. I expected her to take her down very early. She did not. She fucking stood there and tried to bang with Amanda Nunes. And I say tried. She did. They went back and forth. And then she got her back and tapped her out. Now, do I think Amanda Nunes crumbles from this? No. Do I think if you made a rematch on the next card, Amanda Nunes wins? Yes. But it's not like a no-doubter at this point, obviously. And I think it makes it a little easier knowing you go home and the 145 belt's still sitting there waiting for you. I think Dana makes her fight at 145 for a little bit. Problem is, if you make Juliana Pena defend that belt against anybody but Amanda Nunes, on the off chance that she wins, you go back to having a fight that people just expect Nunes to walk through. If you give that rematch, her first title defense is against Amanda again, that's going to do some fucking numbers. You can put that on pay-per-view by itself, and people will come to it. Do I expect that to happen? No.
In fairness to her, I don't think she should have to fight her again. No one else gets a rematch at a title shot.
If you're going to be the champ now,
immediately after without in between fights.
Could Dana make her stay at 145 for a while? Sure. But if Dana's going to allow her to continue to fight at 135, or if she wants to do both, she may not want to. She said she wanted to retire with both belts. But if she chooses to go up to 145, then no, she absolutely shouldn't. But if you're going to be in a weight class with somebody like an Amanda Nunes, you're going to have to fight him again. Because eventually you're going to prove that you're the best, and the only alternative is to give you the last person who is the best, and most people would still believe to be the best. You're going to have to fight her again. But if you beat her twice, now you fucking shoot your name up in a lot of conversations. And then we get to the main event. Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier. Charles Oliveira, again, I expected him to take him down very early, and he did not shoot on him for quite some time. And ironically enough, Oliveira wins by submission. He didn't even fucking take him down when he submitted him. The motherfucker grabbed him by the front of him. And when I saw his fucking leg pop around and he put his foot in the back of his calf, I said, he's going to fucking climb him like a goddamn spider monkey. And that's exactly what he did. And he got his back and he had his chin and he was fucking cranking the shit out of his chin. Dustin was very clearly uncomfortable. And then as soon as he fucking got his neck, as soon as he sunk that choke in, Oliveira started getting emotional on his back because he knew there's nothing you can do. You're fucked. And as soon as he got that choke in, maybe 2 seconds afterwards, you saw Poirier's hand go out, and it's over. Like, oh, maybe I can. No, I got to fucking tap her. I'm going to die here. Oliveira wins.
I'm going to flex and bust out.
The Gaethje fight's got to happen now. He's going to get Gaethje. That is going to be fucking awesome. I think Gaethje has more power than Poirier. I also think Gaethje is much more susceptible to being baited into a submission than Poirier. I did not expect that to happen. Granted, he didn't give up his back. And they asked him after the fight, like, what his strategy was. And he's like, well, because into the first round, he got him down. Oliveira ended up on top, and Poirier just kind of held on to him till the round was over. And Joe Rogan asked him, like, what was the strategy there, just holding on? He's like, I didn't want to do something and give up my back. And then turns out you didn't have to. He just took it while you were standing up. So Michael Chandler advocated for the Gaethje fight. Oliveira and Gaethje will be fantastic. And at this point, I don't know, dude. Fucking Gaethje's got them hands, but so does Poirier. That fight will be awesome. I am much more interested in that fight now after having watched Oliveira and Poirier. Speaking of people pouring shit in Tai Tuivasa's face, some dude right before Oliveira exited the arena snatched his fucking glasses off his face. And then when Oliveira turned around, Oliveira, a very nice guy, seems to be a very nice guy. He was like, hey, my glasses, I can't see without them. Can I get my glasses back? And the guy was like, whoa, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't mean to. You fucking grabbed him off his face. Why the fuck? Like, I get it. Buying those tickets, you want a high five, you want whatever, you want to see them up close. Does not give you the right to fucking snatch shit off their face or do whatever the fuck you want, asshole.
No.
Fucking hell. Anyway, the fight card was fucking great. Cody lost. Amanda lost. Not fantastic. But all around, for the average fan who did not emotionally invested, fantastic card. I digress.
We digress to recaps.
Recaps.
NFL motherfucking recaps.
And kneecaps. We're coming for some kneecaps. Not Dan Campbell style. You want to just start off with it?
With what?
Urban Meyer?
Sure.
Let's just talk about Urban Meyer. He's a fucking idiot. I don't know how many times I got to say this.
I need to hear you tell me the report that you had saw first.
Oh, the report that I saw first was that who was the kicker? I can't fucking remember. I just had the shit pulled up.
The one about him kicking him?
Mm-hmm. It was the same guy.
Oh, that was Lambo.
Yes, Josh Lambo. So he said that after one of the games.
See, we did read the first one.
He told him.
No, we didn't. No.
He said, how about you make your fucking kicks, dipshit? Which, fair. Aggressive. But fair. In most cases, not when you stink as a fucking head coach.
Oh, he used that exact same line in the story that you saw right there.
Oh, it's probably an excerpt from the same story.
Yeah.
But I didn't get the other part. Well, the other part was what?
Josh Lambo came out and said that he was warming up, left leg front, right leg back, just doing typical fucking stretches. Urban Meyer walks up and says, how about you make your fucking kicks, dipshit, and kicked him in his calf.
Okay.
He said it wasn't a super like aggressive kick, but it also wasn't a love tap. He's like, it was a 5 out of 10 kick. It was enough to lure me into saying, don't you ever fucking touch me again. And he said, I'm the head coach. I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
That's why he's the former kicker of the Jacksonville Jaguars. But like that, regardless,
he told a player, I am the head coach. I'll do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah. So regardless of your feelings towards your kicker or how you think he's doing, he is your kicker. The only valuable thing on him besides his fucking brain is his goddamn leg. What the fuck? You don't get mad at your quarterback and twist his fucking throwing arm behind his back, you goddamn idiot. You also continue to not give James Robinson the ball. But I like this story would have been wild no matter who it was. But the fact that it was Urban Meyer, like he acts like this motherfucker can do no wrong.
After trying to get some strange ass in the club. After saying the stupid shit that he did on the herd, talking about his favorite recruits, and that recruit actually sucking dick. Not physically, that was metaphorically, sorry. Sucking terribly at sports whenever he said that he was really good. He sucked. So you're a bad evaluator of talent. You were at Ohio State where everyone was fucking loaded. It didn't matter. You had fucking recruiting classes handed over to your laps. Mm-hmm. You were in Florida where Tim Tebow made you relevant. Mm-hmm.
Well,
and then
that whole Florida team was fucking problematic. Like that team was stacked. But yes, you're right. Continue.
Yeah, and then you go and you end up getting a fucking NFL gig after saying you didn't want an NFL gig, after faking your fucking heart condition out of Florida and going to a new place, then doing circle jerkus hocus pocus nonsense on Shad Khan's penis on a yacht.
Well, your first order of business. So
you land a fucking head coaching gig that you never deserved.
No. After your first order of business after drafting Trevor Lawrence, which didn't take you, that was going to happen regardless of who. You could have put fucking Jimmy Fallon as the goddamn head coach. Guess what? Trevor Lawrence is still the first pick.
We should have known when he drafted ETN at 25 how fucking stupid he is.
And then his first order of business after that was to go on the WWE and do some fucking stupid bullshit.
Yeah.
If you're not fucking solidified in your ability to coach football, don't take on extracurriculars in the public eye. It makes you look fucking stupid. Worry about your goddamn shit.
I think he's done.
He has to be done.
He's done.
There's no, I don't give a shit what his contract says. I don't care what they have to fucking pay him. Pay him to go the fuck away.
And that's actually an appealing coaching gig. Like, you're in a good spot. The team's good. You have a good quarterback. You have a quarterback that you can hang your hat on.
No state income tax.
No state income tax. You got DeSantis as your governor. I mean, what more could you fucking hope for?
And every fucking new coach that comes in, at some point, it's going to get his shot at drafting his guy at quarterback.
He doesn't have to worry about it.
Well,
you got Trevor Lawrence.
You're still going to get that shot at some point if it goes south, but you have a fucking very capable person already there. Like, most of the time you fire the head coach, like, the team is very questionable. They have talent on that fucking team.
Yes.
They just have a terrible, boneheaded asshole as their head coach.
Dakota was right all along. He's a piece of fucking shit. I didn't know he's an actual piece of shit till now. He's a piece of fucking
And he don't know shit about football.
Now, we're all the way out on Urban Meyer. Get fucked.
Speaking of people who do know football, being us. It's funny that you said, you know what? Go ahead and say what you were going to say about the commentator that you were going to say something about.
Oh, Chris Collinsworth.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody who's listened to us for a long time knows how much I fucking despise his whole existence. This motherfucker on national TV, on top of the sneaky, cute little slide in that he does after Al talks, and also now adding a lip bite into his approach.
I do love the slide in.
Boy, the slide in with a lip bite combo, that's hard. That's a heavy one, too. This man on national fucking TV, apparently I'm the only one that caught it because I haven't seen any articles about it. This motherfucker here said, you know what? If you turn the ball over, it's gonna be a hard day's night. On national fucking television after Fields threw that pick six in the second quarter against Green Bay on Sunday night.
I think people have been conditioned to...
I now mute Sunday night games.
I think people have been conditioned to Jason Witten's fuck-ups. Then they're so obvious that the slick shit slips through the cracks.
All they do is sit up there and say the politically correct shit, just suck everybody off. They don't say anything objective.
What you said earlier is interesting because when I told you I had something about a commentator, I did not tell you who it was. And then something you said earlier was hilarious because what I have written down on here is Louis Riddick is my favorite commentator. Louis Riddick is what everybody thought Tony Romo was in the beginning. Tony Romo wants to tell you what's going to happen before it happens, and now he's just turned into some...
That might be the worst collective group as a whole unit of football analysts. Worst on the fucking market.
I don't enjoy the Monday night broadcast. I don't like Steve Levy.
I'll never watch it again. It will only be the Manning cast, which is bullshit that they don't do every single game. I hate it now. I thought I hated the Manning cast. Now listen to Louis Riddick, Greasy, and I can't remember who the other fucking
Steve
loser
Levy
is. They're all fucking nerd geeks that just sit up there and throw out some PFF stats for the entire duration. Or, hey, we talked to him before this game. Guess what he said? He said he wants to win real bad.
Steve Levy and Greasy do that. Do again. Got in there twice. Why I like Louis Riddick, and I only realized it last game, is because Tony Romo gives you way too much fucking information because he wants to show you how fucking smart he is about football. We get it. You're a fucking franchise quarterback for a prestigious team for forever. You had a lot of regular season success. You know how to read a defense.
Shout out Colin Cowherd. Freezing cold takes. Got him another piece of gold from Colin Cowherd.
That was a bad one.
Boy, do I think the Jaguars made a solid hire here. I think it's a very easy...
Oh, I thought you were talking about Mac Jones.
No, he said that one too. But he said, I think this is a very easy... That is the beginning of the year. This Urban Meyer hire was fucking home run. I am hammering the over 6.5.
Wrong.
It's officially impossible for them to achieve.
He also said that Mac Jones is just not the guy. He's not going to be good. That's all there is to it. When he was
just
drafted.
face it. Brady made it. Just face it. And now, last week, he's saying he's the perfect quarterback. It's not what we're used to, but just get used to it, folks. This is what it is. He's perfect.
Yeah, but
You're a fucking loser.
Louis Riddick gives you just enough. Like, he gets into the weeds just enough that, like, people who are super big into football and the strategy that goes with it, you can appeal to them. But it's not so much that I think the average fan is lost in what he's saying. That's why I enjoy it. The Monday night broadcast as a whole, I do not enjoy.
Maybe it's not Louis Riddick that I hate so much. It's just the whole collective cast.
Next Monday night, if they don't have a Manning cast, which I think they're doing from here on out, but if they don't, just flip over there and only listen for him, because that's what I did. That's what I do on Monday night.
With the level of technology we have and the shit that we can make shit do now, how can we not mute certain analysts?
Right.
Like, choose which person you don't want to listen to and just turn it off?
Right. That would be great. The only thing I do not like about the Manning cast, I love everything about it, except there are certain situations where something happens and I don't know who did what.
Correct.
Because they're not talking about the game.
Also, I love everything about the Manning cast except for Eli.
Yes. I don't love Eli's input.
Downy.
I love the reaction that his input gets. He just has a bad face for TV. He should be a radio. No, his voice is bad too.
He looks like radio.
You can't.
That man is so sad. It is Peyton. Peyton's the only reason that makes it. Just sitting up there and watching him ignore Eli the entire time because he wants to watch the game.
He ignores the camera as well.
Yes.
He is just watching the game and talking out loud, which I'm sure he would do at home with no camera.
Yes.
The only reason I enjoy Eli is because Eli has that dumb fucking smile on his face when he speaks, and then he just sits there and holds it, waiting on Peyton to respond, and he just doesn't. Peyton just doesn't acknowledge 75% of the shit he says.
Fucking open mouth breathing, fucking weird smile looking sumbitch that sticks his lower jaw out. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, it's hard not to like him because he looks like a very nice guy, but Lord have mercy on his special self. How that man beat Tom Brady twice, I'll never understand.
Two other things I have before we get into recaps. I don't know what you've got. One, just a quick note, DeAndre Hopkins out for the regular season.
That's wild.
Presumably.
I
due to a
also
knee.
have been the person with their hand all the way to the sky. Dakota can attest. I'm not in on Hopkins. I don't know what all the hype is. I don't get it. It feels like just that. I know that him and Deshaun Watson connection was fucking filthy. That was a large majority of it. But I feel like the moment was on Hard Knocks whenever he broke that dude off and killed Hall on that route. After he talked all that shit to Hopkins, and then Hopkins broke him off on that route.
Yeah, I mean,
blew his ACL out. I'm not big on Hopkins. I feel like
everybody came to the Larry Fitzgerald thing, like about how few balls he dropped late in his career because the number was so impressive. Like, Hopkins just doesn't drop the ball very often. He had to drop this week, and it was such a big ordeal that they made a thing about it. But like, I think that's a lot of it. Like, and this is not just like highly contested 50-50 balls. Like, he just doesn't drop the ball, and that is rare at this point. Like, and not to drop the ball a lot, but not to drop the ball fucking ever. And a lot of it's due to his fucking gigantic hands. And I'm sure we'll hear that about Treylon Burks more as he gets in the NFL because he's going to win the first round. The only other thing I had
I have seen his stock dropping.
I saw...
It dropped. It showed Mayock, his latest projection. He falls to 30th and goes to the Patriots.
No. Can't have that. No.
Yeah.
No. I haven't even looked at mock drafts this year because I'm so, like, I want to be all in when that time comes because that's all I have to look. That's all I'm looking forward to now. I don't even want to look at it now because if they have us projected in, like, the top 15, I'm going to start seeing names consistently and get excited, and then we'll end up at 19.
I think it had you at, like, 18, and you were taking off.
And that's about fucking right. But
which
I saw...
is what you need.
It is. I saw a notification today that had the word Ben Roethlisberger in it and Kevin Colbert. And I thought it was that time of year when it said Kevin Colbert is not ruling out a return from Ben Roethlisberger. That's 100% what I expected, and I was pissed before I opened the fucking notification.
Then you opened it.
It was not that. The notification was that people are starting to murmur Kevin Colbert, Steelers GM, might be out with Ben Roethlisberger.
They sail off into the sunset together.
I also didn't realize...
Good riddance.
Like, Kevin Colbert is red hot or ice fucking cold with picks.
He has a lot of home runs.
He has a lot of home runs. He has a lot of diamonds in the rough. Yes. Like his first round picks, like I say, are either red hot or ice fucking cold. And sometimes in the same position. Like his best first round pick they had has been Roethlisberger. I get it, whatever. His best first round pick is TJ Watt.
Correct.
His worst is Jarvis Jones. Same fucking position. So
same position. Oh, Ben.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
No. TJ and Jarvis Jones.
Oh shit. I always confused Jarvis Landry with Jarvis Jones. But it's not to say that
Landry Jones also bad.
Jarvis Jones was fantastic in college.
He was.
And so was Landry Jones. So it's not like they fucking swung on something that we didn't fucking see. Like, they swung on somebody that was a pretty fucking solid stud in college.
He has not, I think the fewest, like they had it broke down by position, his most picks that he had and his fewest was obviously quarterback. They had 8 over the course of his tenure. They all stink, except for Roethlisberger. Now, what I'm going to say here might surprise you. I hope that doesn't happen. Only because if this is in fact Ben's last year, he is going to be forced to address the quarterback position, whether it be free agent or draft. Once he addresses it, that's it. That's his guy. That will decide whether he stays or goes. If he fucks up and whiffs again, then he's out. Then the next guy gets his pick for quarterback. I have 2 chances to get a franchise quarterback.
I lied.
What?
You keep going. But
I have 2 chances to get a franchise quarterback because if he gets to stay, he has to address it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's not if he wants to, it's he has to.
Mike Mayock has you guys taking Kenny Pickett.
There we go.
At like 16 or 15, I think.
Now, I will say, if he's gone with Ben, I think whoever the next guy is, I do think we draft a quarterback. And everything I've read up to this point says they would rather address it in free agency. And I'm not against it. But this is the issue I have with Ben, same issue I have with Colbert. Like we said last episode, they will not commit to a rebuild, and they won't as long as Ben and or Colbert is there. Like, Colbert's been there long enough through all of the fucking success of Pittsburgh. It is not in his fucking rebuild, is not in his vocabulary.
Also has the Lions taking Aiden Hutchinson first. Michigan defensive end.
I've seen him as low as 4. But I get it. If they do that, I get it. They have so many fucking things they need to address. If there's not a clear guy at quarterback, you have to go after the guy who gets to the quarterback.
This one shows the Panthers taking Kenny Pickett at 9.
The Panthers have a fucking mess at quarterback.
They are so fucked.
Darnold is off IR. He's going to be back. Cam Newton fucking stinks. Shocker. PJ Walker comes in, does okay, gets hurt. Like, they have no fucking answer there at quarterback.
Eagles taking Jameson Williams. That makes no sense.
I still stand by what I said. Heineke will get fucked. Like, he will get pushed to the back burner.
This one shows you guys taking Malik Willis, 15.
Okay. There we go. Liberty quarterback. Love that. Hugh Freeze product there.
That's not Mike Mayock. Mike Mayock had y'all taking Kenny Pickett.
It might be Kevin Colbert, though. You never know. And honestly, like I said, best case scenario, if you take a chance on a guy with
take a chance on
ridiculous talent and has no resume,
take a chance,
and then you get fired, that's best case scenario. High risk, nope. High reward, low risk.
Let's talk.
He's at.
Let's talk gentlemen's bets recaps.
Okay,
real quick, before we talk the actual game recaps. Let's talk gentlemen's bets.
Okay.
I
didn't have a great week.
Dakota had a rough week. Tyler had picked the Browns over Dakota, over the Ravens. Dakota took the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota took the Jags. I took the Titans, but I also said the Titans would cover, so I was right and wrong.
You get a half point.
I said the Titans would not cover, sorry. Dakota said the Seahawks would not cover against Houston. I said they would. That wasn't a gentleman's bet. That was just a mutual agreement. Dakota took Cincinnati. I took the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
Dakota took the Bucks. I took the Bills. He also called for the cover. Didn't happen.
It very well should have happened. I don't know what the fuck happened at the end of that game.
Well, it didn't happen because the Bills were favored, so you won. It's not really that you lost.
Oh, okay.
No, wait. No, you're right. The Bucks were favored
but Bills stormed back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But they won by 6 in overtime, so I think I'm fucked up on that. I think the spread was 3.5.
Maybe.
So I think I fucked up on that. I typoed that motherfucker. And then we were both very wrong with the Cardinals-Rams. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Quick, before we talk about the games, shout out to Joey Bosa for one of the awesomest celebrations I've ever seen in my life. Joey Bosa celebrated by doing, everyone was calling it I think they were calling it the battlefield or the some other game, but that was Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Is what he was doing.
They
and he was
Halo.
teabagging. Yeah, they said Halo. Okay, whatever, but it's everyone knows it's Call of Duty. After you kill somebody, the kill cam's right there, but before you hit the kill cam, you can still see what they're doing to you, and they're teabagging you.
Just crouch.
And then lay down on top of you.
Correct.
Teabag, lay down on top of you.
Yes.
And that's exactly what he did, and that's the most awesome thing. I've never seen anybody celebrate like that in my life. That was so fucking sick to see that. We grew up with fucking,
Smart of him to not actually do it to the quarterback. Walk away and then do it, so it's not taunting.
What was like the big one, the biggest Call of Duty we were playing when we were kids before we went to basic? I can't remember. I played it all the time. I was literally
World
ranked.
of War?
Yes, I was ranked fucking nationally running with these professional motherfucking groups right before I went to basic. Shout out to him. Don't even remember their name. Also, never rekindled the flame. So I got in with some elite motherfuckers. I got up there.
I remember when Zach got on your shit and fucked up your
fucked it all
KDR.
up. I went to basic. My shit was like a 2.7. I was fucking stupid good because it's all I did. I had no life. I go to basic training, come back from basic training, turn on my PlayStation.
And when you're there, all you're thinking about is what you did right before. Like, there's nothing new that comes into your brain.
Right.
So you're just foaming at the math.
Turn it on. I play. I had a good game. I went back. I was like, what the fuck? My KD's 0.67. What the fuck has happened? My brother was like, oh, yeah, we use your PlayStation.
We, as in him and your two sisters.
Fucking unbelievable. But yes, quick little peek at 17-year-old Tyler.
Quick recaps.
Recap.
Full transparency, we were Christmas shopping. I missed everything prior to the Bills-Bucks game.
I watched every single game, and it was awesome. I texted Dakota, and I was like, dude, you have missed so much. I thought he was going to be back early. He texted me at 8 p.m. was like, just got back. I said, you have no idea how much you have missed.
We watched the Bills-Bucks game when they were getting fucking blown out at Chili's. And then overtime.
Rest in peace. You missed a hell of a week.
I did.
So, let's start off by talking about what the Raiders fucking started off the Chiefs-Raiders game with, which was corralling every Raiders player, taking them to the Arrowhead logo at midfield, and stomping all over it and dancing around, hyping everybody up right before okay, fucking check Roger, bud. And all the analysts were posting it. Were like, you love to see this kind of energy. How'd you love it when it was 35-0, buddy?
Has that ever worked for any team?
Nope.
Ever. Against any team.
And then you get fucking 48-9.
In a divisional game. Yikes.
We did end up saying that the Chiefs would cover, but we thought it'd be barely. We fucking shit stomped them. Curb stomped. I'm talking about on the curb and stomping the piss out of the back of their fucking heads.
I was concerned with my Hunter Renfrow decision.
Oh boy.
Early.
He was the only bright spot for that team.
There was no bright spot early.
No.
I was completely shocked by everything because I was only getting my game information through checking my fantasy team. And Hunter Renfrow had nothing.
It looked like nothing.
It was nothing at all.
Dakota did squeak into the motherfucking playoffs in our personal league.
Oh, yeah.
He did. Slightly biased finished with third because Dakota wanted to be a piece of fuck. And James Conner had a career day against us. So the slightly biased team drops to third.
And Skinny Fingers got first by 20 points.
He sure did.
That motherfucker.
And Jonathan Taylor was on a bye, motherfuckers. So we are you know what? As Terry says at work, I'm right where I want to be.
Yeah,
we are right where we fucking want to be.
When he's not, though. He lies.
That being said, we do have a good matchup this week. But yeah, your boy Tyler finished third in the personal league as well. Shout out Shane, because I'm lining up against that ass. Also, shout out Shane for taking Duke Johnson, which is somebody I put in a waiver for, because he's about the only running back alive for Miami. I woke up this morning, checked real quick, waiver. What the fuck? I didn't get him. God damn it, Shane got him. Oh, whatever, who cares? Then I checked the roster a little bit later. He's in a starting lineup. He's projected 16. I said, oh, would that be some shit if Duke Johnson beats me in the playoffs?
Oh, that'd be good stuff.
But yeah, shout out to Shane for being a piece of fuck. The Chiefs beat the absolute dog shit out of the Raiders. And they all did it for fucking L'Jarius Sneed. That's all everybody talked about. That's all anybody mentioned was this is all for Sneed, all for Sneed. You fucking love to see that.
The need for Sneed.
The need for Sneed. Not the need for Tweed, as they say in The Office. Need for Sneed. Chiefs are all the motherfucking way back, bitches. And you're going to see on Thursday night, because tomorrow night, or you're hearing this Thursday morning, so today, we actually got a good Thursday night game. And it's the Chiefs-Chargers.
It depends on which Chargers show up.
Well, the Chargers of the last 3 weeks, it should be good.
Should be.
Yes.
We shall see.
Browns-Ravens. Browns 24, Ravens 22.
Wasn't that close.
Lamar came out early. Huntley came in and actually did very decent. Played pretty well. Browns are now dead because everyone on the team has COVID.
There's several teams like that.
Everyone on the Rams has COVID.
I think
Rams had to shut down their whole establishment.
Yeah, they're in the intensive protocols or whatever intensive may not be the right word.
No,
the
it's
extreme
not.
Fucking protocols.
Yes. What we would call
lockdown.
Yes. What we call in the military. Now I am forgetting which one was severe and which one was not severe. DEFCON. DEFCON 1, I believe, was the most urgent. Yes, it's very bad. Browns won. Big deal. I picked the Browns. Huntley came in. Like I said, Huntley came in and did very well. And the Browns didn't score a single point in the second half.
The Jaguars didn't score a single point in the game.
They did not. They got 20-0'd. They got skunked. And Trevor Lawrence threw 4 picks.
James Robinson did nothing. I mean,
that's because he had 4 carries.
Yeah, right. My point.
4 carries.
Because Urban Meyer's the head coach, does what the fuck he wants.
So you don't establish the run, look what happens.
Your golden boy got.
He did several times.
Let's see.
Saints throttled the fucking Jets.
Yeah, shocker.
Alvin Kamara's first game back. I wrote it down. Alvin Kamara's first game back in 4 weeks. Granted, it was against the Jets, but 120 rushing yards and a touchdown, along with 4 catches for 25 more receiving yards. Pretty fucking incredible. And also, RIP to Deontay Harris, who's now suspended for getting a DUI. So
smart business decision to give Kamara more carries than Taysom Hill had passes.
Yes, but Taysom Hill did, I believe, tear it up on the ground as well.
Zach Wilson did throw 42 times and completed 19 of them, though, so that's good. Jesus Christ.
Taysom Hill had 11 carries for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah. The Whistle
It's
Pigs.
almost like establishing the fucking run matters.
Yeah. The Whistle Pigs almost.
Boy, they almost came back.
Got him.
Boy, they almost did.
I checked out of checking into that game when the Cowboys started beating the piss out of them. And then here comes the Whistle Pigs.
Well, Taylor Heineke sucked.
They came up short.
Taylor Heineke sucked.
Yeah.
Kyle Allen came in and looked way better.
That's fine. He's just playing the long game, trying to get to Pittsburgh.
Okay, I made that up. I over-exaggerated. I just realized that he was 4 for 9 for 50 yards. I didn't watch. That was one of the games that I actually didn't watch. I just kept it was 20-something to 0, 20-0 something. Early. So I turned it the fuck off. Heineke was 2 for 12 with like fucking 25 yards and a pick. Got hurt. Came out of the game, walked over a pair of scissors that were on the fucking field, picked up a pair of scissors and gave it to the fucking staff. Like, this is why I love Red Zone. Red Zone is not afraid to mention shit that no one talks about. Red Zone always talks about it. But yeah, I turned it off immediately. And then I kept getting updates on the bottom. 20 to 8. And then 20 to 16, then 27 to 6. And I was like, oh shit. That's when I turned back to it. Fucking Allen, goddamn fucking strip sacked. It was over. It was heartbreaking. We were rooting for the Whistle Pigs. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people are saying this is impressive by the Cowboys because they won, and it wasn't because their offense. Their defense is actually what saved them.
Yeah, the defense gave me 23 points.
Yeah, you could use that. I get it. So,
look, I said early on, fade me with the Falcons. Tail me with the Falcons. I'm hot. Mm-hmm. We are 4 weeks in a row with the Falcons picks, and they tried everything they could to fuck that up against a ragtag fucking Panthers team.
Well, they had to bench Cam again. He had a 28 QBR.
So when he doesn't have a job next year, how many years are we going to go when somebody has a bad game and think, Cam Newton's still out there without a team? It's because he fucking stinks. He stinks.
Also, so help me God, if one of you fucking clickbaiting bullshit analysts come out here and make this about race, shut the fuck up. He's not good at football.
Cam Newton stinks. TJ Watt broke him.
He fucking stinks. He just stinks. Race has nothing to do with it. Stop bringing that shit up. Bullshit. He stinks. Dead, stinky, ass turd.
Seahawks, Texans. No idea what happened there. Beat the piss out of them.
Yeah, they did. Tyler Lockett was a freak.
Yeah.
Did you see a stat line?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you about it. 5 for 144 and a touchdown.
Sheesh. Pretty good. Pretty good.
I mean, Metcalf got me 6, though.
Hey.
Pretty good, right?
That's pretty good.
Hell yeah. 4 catches, 43 yards. Fuck yeah. Russell Wilson just cannot fucking figure it out. How to get the ball in one of the best receivers' hands. Whatever.
Go Hawks.
Boy, Geno Smith, he did not have a problem putting the ball in DK's hands. And they won a lot. That's fine, though. I say a lot. They have fucking 4 wins. You get it.
Broncos, Lions.
Ew.
No, ew, but I fucking love the bringing 10 guys out on the field, taking the delay game.
That was sick.
Lions declined the penalty. They left.
The
Demarius Thomas's position open, took the penalty. Lions decline. What's crazier than that, their final drive, they went 88 yards.
That's
wild. What are the odds of that? Weird
wild.
Shit like that seems to happen more often than not, and it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Other than that, no, I have nothing to say about that game, mainly because I didn't watch it, but the score would tell me that there's not a lot to talk about.
It was a ground and pound game. Melvin Gordon, 24 carries, 111 yards, 2 scores. on our bench and slightly biased, we would have won. Just kidding. We wouldn't have. And, I mean, the Lions stink. Get over it. We know that. Javonte Williams, 15 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown. And then also, what the fuck? I thought he had a receiving touchdown, too. Oh, yeah, he did. One catch, 10 yards for a touchdown, too. Javonte Williams is fucking freak.
He's very good.
Skinny Fingers knows that just as well as we do.
Chargers, Giants. I put in a waiver claim for Guyton and canceled it. Turns out I shouldn't have done that.
In our personal league?
I don't remember which one it was.
Oh, you're talking about a couple weeks back. Yeah, because Walker has Guyton.
No, it wasn't in that league.
Oh, okay.
I think it was in the work league, but I canceled it, and he had 87 yards and a touchdown.
He did.
I won anyway, though, thanks to...
Did you see the touchdown to him?
No.
Oh, my God, dude. It was fucking insane.
Some would say so fucking money.
So fucking money? It was. We did have that game on. Herbert shuffles out of what looks like it's going to be a sack. He sprints out to the right sideline, stops, gathers himself. Granted, this is like a 60-yard throw. Mm-hmm. Stops, gathers. Boom. Fucking bazooka down the goddamn field. And I mean, it was like in stride, but he was already in the end zone caught. Most perfect fucking I don't understand it. It was so fucking perfect. It was huge. It was a huge throw in stride, but he had already stopped because he's in the middle of the end zone. Right in his fucking breadbasket. Could not fuck it up. I mean, It was fucking gorgeous. These Chargers, if that Chargers right there plays these Chiefs on Thursday, it's going to be sick.
Hopefully Keenan Allen plays. I need him to play.
He is.
We're in the fucking playoffs.
He's playing.
I have to have him.
He's got no injury designation, no COVID designation. He's projected points. He's good.
We had overtime again. Bungles, Niners.
That game was sick. Bengals were down by 2 scores. Niners stall out on their last couple of drives. Deep pass to Jamar Chase. And it wasn't deep. It was like 20-something yarder, I think. But it was like over to the right hash, along the right sideline. Burrow put it right over the goddamn corner's hands. I mean, fucking right into Jamar Chase. Boop. Who also had a touchdown right after that.
Yeah, he's on my bench.
Sprinting along the back of the end zone. Corner just falls down. Boom. Right fucking to him. Now we're going to overtime. And, I mean, whatever. Bengals had to punt. Niners marched down, get a field goal. And George Kittle was a freak. 13 catches, 151 yards, and a touchdown.
Jesus.
He had 29 in fantasy, and the week before that, 35. I play him this week.
Let's talk about the weirdest game of the week.
I'm starting Gesicki, too.
That's a mistake. Let's talk about the weirdest game of the week. Packers-Bears. So many fucking weird things happened in this game.
So many. Grant tried to win them that game so hard.
There was a 93-yard punt return.
The first punt return touchdown of the year.
And it wasn't that crazy. He went up the middle, cut to the outside, all the way up the fucking sideline.
That is a typical PlayStation punt return.
Fucking hell of a block. Initially set it up. But, I mean, like, the whole fucking team's right there. And he just beat them to the sideline.
Yes.
And up the sideline. And at no point even got questionably close to being out of bounds.
Yes.
Very impressive.
It was sick. And then he also had a stupid long fucking reception where he just out-sprinted everyone up the fucking left sideline. Mm-hmm. And then Aaron Rodgers had to remind you motherfuckers, why would you fucking drop down and do a double check right in front of my face because you sacked me once in the first quarter?
That never goes well.
It's always bad. He still owns you.
Like, Bears they started up 10-0.
And I texted Dakota, as soon as I sent the text, they scored. The Green Bay Packers scored.
As soon as they did anything, like 45 seconds later, they went 75 yards and scored.
Yes.
Every time they got any momentum, Aaron Rodgers was like, all right, you guys ready to fucking shut them the fuck up? All right. Touchdown.
Also, a little reminder, Aaron Jones is elite. Stop splitting carries.
Are they trading him?
I don't know. Is that why you think they're doing this?
No. It's just like if you
starting to give him heavy carries towards the playoffs and then showcase him.
If you have somebody as good as A.J. Dillon behind him, like...
I don't think he's holds a candle to...
Oh, I think it's very close. But, like, you have somebody that good that you could trade and have somebody fill in for him. Like, I feel like you could get quite a bit for Aaron Jones. I don't know if people don't value the running back as much, but...
Not for 50-something million.
No. I don't know. It seems
Ask the Cowboys.
Overkill to have that much talent at the running back position and not be able to get something, fill a position of need from it. I've read that nowhere. It's just a thought.
Aaron Rodgers had 341 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. Some would say he owns the Bears.
Everyone would say he owns the Bears.
He would say that. He has said that.
Yes. He then went on in a recording on this one and was like, I do not apologize.
I don't regret anything I said.
No.
And I think you could find statistics to back that up 100%. And he's right.
And he is right because it's Aaron Rodgers. Shut the fuck up.
And then we have a head scratcher on Monday night.
Rams 30, Cardinals 23.
Now,
and it was not even 30-23. It was a fucking sympathy field goal at the end that made it look like it was close.
Now I did need Prater to go off in that
Shut
game
up, you
in the
did,
work
bitch,
league,
and it worked.
And I said
It worked in ours.
it worked in that league too. I forgot that I had him. I knew I had James Conner, but in the work league I needed 8 points from Matt Prater, and I said at work he's going to probably start this motherfucker off with a 50-yard field goal, and then I'm going to sweat out the 3 points. Nope, he immediately hit another 50-yard field goal and game over. But that game was fucked. Like now the Rams can fucking play,
and they didn't have Jalen Ramsey. They didn't have
a depleted Rams team. Just fucking Matthew Stafford looked good as fucking gold.
No Darrell Henderson, no Jalen Ramsey. Also, 2 other starting defensive players out. And Matt Stafford comes out there and looks like
Matt Stafford.
Week 3 Matt Stafford,
not Matt Goff.
Yes,
Matt Goff's gone.
I'd never heard the Matt Goff thing. That's funny. The Rams are back.
I don't buy it.
The Rams are back.
I don't buy it.
Also, those few geniuses out there that wanted to say, look how good the Browns are doing now that Odell left. Are you same geniuses out there saying, look at Odell's numbers now that he came to the Rams? Because he looks pretty fucking good.
He does look good. My issue was never that he was not going to be good. It was that he was not going to be what he was with the Giants. Well, I guess just with the Giants. Because
he's
he was never
fucking 23.
I'm not saying he's not. His age doesn't allow him to continue to be that. I just have not seen him be anywhere close to the Giants Odell since then.
Is Baker or Matt Stafford better?
Definitely Matt Stafford.
Baker sucks.
Absolutely.
So can we maybe pin a little bit of fucking blame here on a quarterback that's pretty ass?
You absolutely can. My issue was that because we haven't seen it for so long, does he still have it?
My issue was only because the media wouldn't say that. No one would come out and say that about Baker Mayfield. It was all about Odell. It's all Odell's fault. He's a cancer.
Right. I think a lot, like Baker Mayfield got his fair share of shit. None of it was connected.
No.
Where like Odell got shit, Baker got shit. Very little of it was connecting the dots. That's fair.
That was my only issue. You know me. My only issue is when the media comes out and tries to talk shit about somebody without giving context. Without context, you can make anything look true. Add context and then be able to also pin humility on somebody that maybe it looks like the quarterback played a large percentage of Odell's
they definitely shaped the
stats
narrative
and output and shit. Like, yeah, absolutely they did. It's fucking bullshit. I'm not going to ride with it. Now you're going to see. Cooper Kupp, Odell is a problem.
Cooper Kupp is a freak.
That being said,
sense.
I'm Tyler. I got nothing else to say.
Goodbye.
We'll see you next time.
As always, thanks for listening. Be sure to check out our website, www.slightlybiasedsports.com, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on social media. And if you haven't told your friends, you're wrong.